So many of you sent me this post yesterday, and this just seems like a good opportunity to remind you that Make America Healthy Again was a political movement to get votes for the Republican Party. They don't care about improving the health of Americans or cleaning up our food supply. They care about money and power and are laughing at us as they eat McDonald's and drink Coca-Cola on their private plane. Our food environment is broken because of corporate greed and the way that we subsidize crops in favor of food corporations. This is my plate, which reflects the current dietary guidelines. Make half your plate fruits and vegetables, a grains group, a protein group, and a dairy group. Very few people are meeting these guidelines. For example, over 90% of Americans aren't meeting vegetable and fiber intake guidelines. One major reason for that is the way that we subsidize food. Here's a plate of agricultural subsidies in the US. 50 to 60% of agricultural subsidies go to grains, namely corn, wheat, and soy, which are the basis of ultra-processed foods in our country, meaning that we are choosing to make those foods cheaper to produce. Less than 1% of subsidies go to fruits and vegetables, which according to nutrition research is supposed to make up half of our plate. What we're choosing to subsidize in the United States is in direct opposition to what nutrition research says that we should be consuming. In addition, over 70% of Americans are eating too many calories for their needs. Why? A big reason is this: corporate greed that's been enabled by pro-corporation deregulation efforts. Their interests are not the health of Americans. Their interests are increasing profits and increasing market share, which means making their product cheaper to produce, which means lobbying for those subsidies, and increasing their market share, which means lobbying to block legislation that limits marketing to us and to children, lobbying for lax antitrust enforcement, which has allowed all of these mergers and acquisitions so that very few corporations control our food supply. Neither political party has been great on this, but one has been far worse than the other, and the previous Trump administration was one of the worst of all time for our food supply and for public health, and there are countless examples of this. But they're brilliant marketers, and they've created this political movement focused on a narrative of corrupt scientists and medical professionals and public health experts to distract from the pro-corporation deregulation efforts that they support that have got us into this food environment that we're in, and the policies that would directly actually affect public health. And they'll continue to support these corporations and serve their financial interests at the expense of public health.